Woke up late, charts on fire, red and green like a funeral pyre. Discord screaming LFG, but my portfolio's haunting me. Spiked my coffee with regret. Last night I longed to break out bet. Now I'm broke, not broken yet. Just one more pump, I won't forget. Buy high, die huddling. The 10 brain dopamine's controlling. Ride the whale or get wrecked clean. This crypto dream's a guillotine. Fake guru with 1,000 subs showed me coins in shady clubs. Promised moons, Lambos and jets. Now I'm left with JPEGs and debts. Scalped my soul in a 5-minute chart. Market dumped and it ripped my heart. But I'll reload, I'll play to win. Even if I lose it all again. Buy high, die huddling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling. Almost God grieves the king. This crypto dream's a punk rock thing. Time in hands with the crack in the glass. Risk it all, no brakes, full gas. Liquidation, call me sweet. Whisper welcome to defeat. No stop loss, no regrets. Code and chaos, no safety nets. Satoshi's ghost in my DMs told me to ape again and again. Buy high, die huddling. Gas fees burn, but I keep rolling. If I crash, at least I tried. In this wild west of blockchain rights. I'll be trading till the lights go out. Charts are noise, but I live for the sound. One candle spike, and I'm back in town. Crypto's a fight, and I'm 10 toes down.
Good morning, guys. Hope you're having a great day today. Oh, I am tired today, man. Got next to no sleep. But the market looks like it's trying to recover. Let's see what happens. Well, Bitcoin hasn't met our level just yet. Ethereum has. Ethereum hit our 475 level that we were talking about yesterday. Got that double bottom structure right off of it. And around 10:20 p.m. we had that break. Even lost our downtrending momentum simultaneously. And we built this awkward little slow pacing crawl up to pretty much we have this regression trend target hit already. But it does look like it's trying to stabilize off of the VWAP right now for potential consolidation. So ETH is looking good, and Bitcoin's looking sluggish. So Bitcoin dominance might be going down right now. If you go to Bitcoin dominance, see. Oh yeah, it's still range bound. We were talking about that yesterday during the community call. We were in that spot where we would prepare for. If you were, shorting this as an asset, this is where you would prepare. And we got that pullback, but now we got that double bottom structure fighting the VWAP. So it's inversely correlated to what Ethereum's doing right now. Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's go back to Bitcoin's price action. How you guys doing this morning? You got Brett. What's up? Dennis. Nice tunes. Thanks, man. Let's see, Coma, Sterling. How you doing, Sterling? Dutchy is the real cautious more. What's up, man? Constantine. Hey, how you doing, man? Azil going straight for the request for link. Noah, good morning. Dutchy smashed the like. Thanks, man. Just because you can. It's free to tap that like button. It does help the algorithm, bring in more people organically and grow our community. All right. So let's just go over Bitcoin's price action. We gone over most of it yesterday, but I'll just give everyone a recap for anyone who's just jumping in. You got Link's prediction perfectly. Cool. Right on. So for Bitcoin, we have kind of swept this low right here, and we're getting like that early bullish reaction. Well, early to what I anticipated. I thought maybe we can get down to here. I still think we can, and I still feel unsafe longing until we do. So I am hopeful that we get like, maybe like a bear flag posture out of this, and see volume start to go down a bit, and then we come down to hit this measurable target and just sweep this liquidity. And right here is where I'm preparing for a long. Basically 12,000 even, or at least off of a sweep of this low. Now, if we don't get that, we can zoom out really quick, because I do believe, I think I saw a potential chance that we have like uptrending momentum forming. Yeah, right here. So we could be seeing undercuts. We can look at the order books right now for Bitcoin and see if there's a buy wall alongside that trend line. We got a little buy wall at, when I say little, it's about 200 Bitcoin-ish for the amount at 113.20. 13.20. Okay, and text. All right, 250 Bitcoin buy wall here. So we do see some buyer's confidence around this area. It's not very much, and the liquidity starts to come up usually in about an hour from now, so that buy wall might get bigger. But right now, yeah, we got about 250 Bitcoin left to be bought. I'm assuming that this buy wall was added shortly after the bounce here, and this what induced this wick we got here, this aggressive bounce. So this is basically, think of it like a brick wall. Whenever you see a buy wall or a sell wall, price action cannot go below it or go past any of these walls until those orders are filled. But this is not a very big wall. This would usually takes about a couple of taps and then it's gone. So see if we do return back down to here, if we'll break through this. But think of this like a trendline validator, right? When you see buy walls alongside trend lines, it tells you that there are trade participants agreeing with that trend line, and it might prevent the price action from going further. But luckily, this is not a big enough wall to be like, yeah, this is for certain going to be honored. FOMC minutes today, right? Yes, I do believe so. Coma said it's at 2 p.m., probably Eastern. Let's see. Go to futures. What am I talking about? Forex Factory. Yeah. On Forex Factory. Today is Wednesday, the 20th. Yeah, at 2 p.m., like Coma said. We get FOMC minutes. It's usually good to try to stay out of the game. If you're about to jump into a trade, I recommend not getting in around 2. If you think that you're going to be in a trade that will give you some distance, you can jump in prior to 2 o'clock, preferably like the sooner the better. Otherwise, yeah, I'd sit on your hands until this is over. Sometimes you get those whipsaw events. Now, like price action, I'm sure you guys have noticed, has become more and more stable during these kind of events. Whereas before, like I'd say pre-Trump is probably the best way, or pre 70,000. It give you these whipsaw candles that could knock you right out. But still take these seriously, because historically they've caused problems. What is going on? Okay, well, I'll just delete those. And that other page has caused me a problem. There we go. Okay, well, Bitcoin's close to mitigating this little supply concern here. When my computer wants to catch up, let's get rid of the order books. And yeah, so this has gotten significantly weaker. We pretty much mitigate the whole thing. So if we do break above this and we have it on as a form of support, I'll be looking at the 50-day EMA and the 15-minute order block alongside this previous point of control as confluence for resistance. So if we do get that break, I'm thinking that we're just going to come right back down. Let's see, we have our downtrending momentum also kind of aligning with that. So when all that form of confluence kind of converge in one single moment, there's a good chance that we can have a harsh rejection. So just be careful around this area. Lots of confluence. Like I said, 50-day EMA, 15-minute order block, low time frame supply, previous point of control, and downtrending momentum, like all in one spot there. So likely going to get our head hit. Okay. And then maybe that might bring us enough momentum to come down to our key level. We want to get our longs in. Ethereum showing relative strength, getting there first. What had to show relative weakness to then convert into relative strength, which is kind of funny, to get there first and then start their uptrend. We are getting acceptance into this previous value area right now. From here, you can mark your previous value area high at 4285. If we do break past this point of control and this local high here, then I'll be watching right here as a area of interest for potential shorts or to exit longs. Okay, so let's go over any TA requests you guys have. Nazil wants to look at Chainlink. We were talking about that yesterday. Okay, so we got that descending double bottom break of downtrend momentum, came in to mitigate the rest of this little supply. Like we tapped into it twice already, so I wasn't really expecting it to be strong. We just had some turbulence around here, and now it looks like it's trying to create a higher high for a continuation. Our next spot of interest is right here. We already kind of tapped into it. And then last spot would be the high at 2675. We can rotate these wick lines here from here to here, because they're not going to help us anymore where they currently are. Get your magnet tool out and make sure they're connected properly. Let me just close this for you guys so you can see more. There we go. So we could come up here and get an SFP. Let's see what happens. This would be a good spot to prepare for an SFP if you're an SFP trader. I think this is a great spot. We got that previous point of control that we could hit our head off of at $27. We fell down to this previous value area here. Used the point of control, tapped the previous value area low, broke that momentum, came up, hitting that supply. So now we're kind of like building a new range here. You could technically pull a new fixed range volume profile from the start where this demand zone was here. Yeah, where we're currently hitting our head right now is this volume shelf. But if we break through it, price action moves quickly through it on average. And then we have a volume shelf right at this value area high. So we have some confluence for rejection here to come down. So we might not make it our way up. Let's see if there's any Fibonacci confluence along with that. So pulling from the local high here to the low. Let me adjust my thing from equilibrium to my, there we go. And that's perfectly in line with the golden pocket. So lots of reasoning to hit our head right here at 25.45. Just to repeat, we got golden pocket, supply concern, value area high, confluence all in one spot here. So I'll just prepare for an opposing change of character in this area. So if you get the opposing change of character, I would listen to it because we're likely going to rotate down, potentially back down to the value area low, or at least the point of control. So if I were going to draw pathing, it'd be something like this. And sometimes we also just get that quick tap wick into it and come right down from there and get our change of character elsewhere. Hey Kyle, good morning. Nice to have the opportunity to do some DCA during the dips. Oh yeah, yeah. There's a few assets I would recommend buying in this dip. There, Solana. How's Solana doing? Solana's doing good. We had, during our trade hunting call, we had a couple pathing recommendations. Like, we couldn't take action on anything at the time, so all we could do is predict pathing and prepare. Unfortunately, most of the moves happened like around like 10 to midnight, so not everyone would have been trading. But yeah, we broke. Yeah, the pathing we had one concern where we could just hit this previous low alongside with this downtrending momentum and come right back down. But instead, like a pathing came in, broke to the upside, consolidated, hit our head off the point control, dipped to retest the value area low and the downtrending momentum as support. And now we're just trying to get that break here. And it's giving me the same kind of, I know it doesn't really seem like it, but it gives me the same kind of positioning vibes as Chainlink, because Chainlink is currently relatively close to its barrier concerns, right? We have that value area high, we have the supply zone, we have the golden pocket, and Solana is coming into its value area high and a wick level, and Solana loves to SFP. It loves to give everyone SFP opportunities. So we might get an SFP here. Me as an SFP, when I do my SFP trades, I'd rather do them off the extreme highs and the extreme lows and not really focus on internal. So if I did take the SFP in Solana, I would prefer to take it from here and not from something here. Doesn't mean there's not going to be an opportunity here as it grabs liquidity, but if you want to like focus on something that will likely give you a higher probability win, focus on the extreme highs and extreme lows of your local ranges. But we have those two levels you can watch. So we could sweep this high and come down, kind of similar to how we're expecting a potential reaction of Chainlink. Just tap into the golden pocket or the change of character. The change of character always feels safer because you can have structure to use as your stop loss guard. Or we can potentially come up and get something like this before coming down. Delete this now. So yeah, we got over Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, Solana. And we still got about 40 minutes before I got to do another call. So lots of time to hang out. Coma, can you check Solana, please? Yeah, we just did. Okay, cool. Yeah. Change of character, 618 bounce, missed the entry, sleep. Yeah, here, yeah. Thinking if it was a valid setup. Let's see. So we had off this like move here, we had a golden pocket retest. Depends on how you did your pull, man. Pull from the impulse move up to this most recent internal change of character. That's when you would pull your fib from low to high after a start of the trend, right? You want to focus low to high when we had that change of character shift, which was like right here. Yeah, we got that, went switch bullish around here. So yeah, this was great. We also had potentially this move you could have been talking about from here to here. Kind of dipped almost into the, yeah, dipped past the 786. But yeah, I would have, if I were a Fibonacci trader, I do take Fibonacci trades. It's just I like specific scenarios. So after the shift in direction with the change of character, I'll pull a fib from like a low to high when we have an opposing change of character. But then what I want to look for is a low time frame, like 3-minute change of character occurrence around here. And I don't think we got that with this setup here. I don't like taking the tap in entries because I haven't back tested the results yet. I don't know what my win rate would be if I were to take on those trades. The good thing about the low time frame change of character trades is that you can use like a local stop loss from that low time frame change of character. But if you're going in through the taps, it's best to look at previous price action and find a stop loss guard, right? And then use that, like a previous strong low or like a break of structure low. Yep, the earlier one. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, that one met a large majority of the rules, man. Yeah, we already had that bullish structural break. You can pull from here to here and then try to enter around here. So that's a valid entry for sure for Fibonacci, as long as it, you know, met all your conditioning rules for the entry itself. What else do you guys want to look at? We went through, yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, and Solana. And I still got 35 minutes to chill. Lots of time. Oh, Cardano. So Ramos wants to look at Cardano. Let's see. Nice, okay. So Cardano, it looks like it's trying to fish hook with a rounded bottom here off of this little demand zone here. This one's been fully mitigated. You know, I think it was fully mitigated yesterday before, like during our call, our last live, sorry. I was anticipating it for, based on its measurable base target, for like this move here, that would come down to here. Not all targets have to be hit, of course, but you know, we had this blocking the target right now. We are fish hooking, so historically these patterns, oh sorry guys, I keep messing up with my pulls here. These patterns here will give you a brief pump, hit a local level of resistance, usually 40% drawing back the drop, basically, giving that 40% pullback, and then coming back down. And then here will be like a make it or break it moment for it to convert into a potential double bottom, or give you that retest for a lower low, give you that break of structure continuation. And then I'll be anticipating support again on 81.68 for Cardano. I got the fishhook pattern inside the course. They're little tricky ones. You want to look for an equilibrium point. So if we go to lower time frames, we could find one, and it would be right here, right? So you have this level to help you define the pump. You'll usually have a couple supply zones in lower time frames to define potential areas where you get the reversals, and we have one here, and we have one like right on top of it that induced the equilibrium point right here. So if we break into this and we get that break of structure, honoring this as form of support, the move, momentum-based move, is suggesting that we can come up to here, 88.37. Like my pathing, I'd see it look something like this, or like this here. And then bring us back down to these key levels that we have drawn. Send this to back so I can actually see the candles. Pump, please. Constantine. Yeah, we can look at that, man. Thanks for the tip. Appreciate it. Am I on Examia? I don't even know what that word is, so no. Sorry, Zach. I've been adding to my HBAR bag. How's it looking? Yeah, we can take a look at that too. An XRP for Brett as well. Let's take a look at pump. Pump. Oh, we don't have a pump layout. Okay. What is this? Oh, okay, we're doing a mock-up. If we saw this was a key level here, that if broken, we could prepare for a move down to here, right? But you want to see that retest so you can use it as like your stop loss guard when you have that initial break. But yeah, we're preparing for that move. It looks like we dipped down below it a few times, consolidating against this point of control as support. Right? Kept using the point of control as support. Never invalidated the head and shoulders though. Like you want to get above this right shoulder to invalidate it. And we just came up, scared some people, probably out of their trade. And then came down, lost this momentum that we've got drawn here. That's been holding up pump since it's, I think this is all-time low, 0.00227. Zoom out, just make sure. Yeah, that's his all-time low. So we kind of like built this macro bear flag into this supply and lost it. The technical target, unfortunately, is pretty rough. It's like this is actually the conservative target right here. So I'll be recommending the conservative target because since it's its all-time low. So I might see that continuation down if we manage to get acceptance back inside this previous value area again, right here. So all we need for that acceptance now, we got that little bit of a pullback, went a little bit beyond it, testing this previous lowest resistance. And yeah, if we get that break of structure, then we'll have proper acceptance into this value area, and then we'll be targeting this value area low, which I need to switch to here. So we've hit the head and shoulders measurable target already, right? This is the momentum-based target from here to here. Just I could see, obviously, traders struggling to try to get in on that safely. So I understand that being a little bit of a pain, having that drawback. Let's get this downtrending momentum drawn here. We can delete this now that that's done. Let's mark our previous point of control because that looks like a really strong volume node right there. There we go. We can this local support, turn it off. Kind of flip that as local resistance. Can we reuse this? No, we're good. We just hit supply right now. We had our bearish change of character right here. On the 15-minute. We're starting to get below the VWAP. We have a 15-minute order block that we're approaching right now alongside this previous value high. So this is going to be the kind of like the moment to see if we can start to approach these lows for that larger time frame break of structure from these lows. Otherwise, I would be anticipating this to potentially act as a form of support down here. You could pull a fib. Now that we got that opposing change of character, we could validate this as potential high, right? So we can pull a fib from the low to the high, or from the impulse move here to the high, and see if there's any key levels that could be honored. What I like to do when I see these kind of scenarios on where I want to anticipate potential support, it technically, like, they're both right, and they're both right in a way. We just got to wait for the structural evidence, right, to be able to actually jump in on the trade. I personally like taking the scenarios from the low to the high usually play out a lot more, but if you get those impulse moves, they usually give you the faster, better kind of setup. Let's see, we go down here. We can box. We can wrap confluence around our fib pull. So we see we have some confluence here for a little demand zone and an order block right here to here. And that high would be, you just got to keep in your mind that the top side of this is the golden pocket. So we have a decent confluence here to prepare for a potential bounce. And it could give us that like ascending large double bottom posture, right? With this being the neckline. And that's the bullish case scenario. This is going to be the scenario where if we don't just break right through this and get that large break of structure for the continuation, like if we get that break of structure for continuation, then we anticipate us to fall down to at least here, right? That previous point of control at 0.0026. But if we honor this as support, it's an invalidation of that whole idea, and we could end up coming back up to return these highs and break this neckline for a move back to the downtrending momentum. We'll see what happens. So if I were to draw pathing, it'll look potentially something like this. And just gotta watch out around here. But I mark this as a key level. So if this key level breaks instead, then our pathing will look potentially something like this. A happens, you do A. If B happens, you do B. Have you heard much about that Trump meme coin? Yeah. I heard a lot about it. When it first came out, all I did was warn people about it because of its supply balance was terrible. The holder balance is terrible. Like I think there's a wallet with 80%, and yeah, then it crashed shortly afterwards. I'm not sure what the state of it right now, but all I remember is that it crashed dramatically at the start, like most new releases do. The VCs like kind of rug the new retail entries, and then it's probably stable now, but yeah. All right, so we jumped into Bitcoin, we jumped into Cardano, Ethereum, Chainlink, Solana, and now Pump. And we still got about 20 minutes to spare. Randy wants to go over HBAR. Let's take a look at HBAR. Now, HBAR is one I'm going to start accumulating. So what I'm going to be doing, by the way, I'm creating a brand new spot account where I'm going to be starting completely over under the business. So just the business alone. Not going to have it integrated into my personal stuff. So I'll be giving you guys new spot signals based on the activity of that account. So, second, I don't know if I saved my Google Sheet on it yet. I haven't. Okay. So I'll get that new Google Sheet and show you guys, but basically I'll allow you guys will also be able to copy it, the Google Sheet too, because I have it set up so that it will pull a live feed from CoinMarketCap, so you can make your own custom portfolio tracker and put all your transactions in there so you can track your taxes, all that stuff. And it'll work really well with InvestiShare. For all those, if you guys know what InvestiShare is, it's our new system that's included in your membership, where it'll track all your transactions and tell you how much you'll owe in taxes, what your win rate is, what your profitability is, all that stuff. And it's no extra cost. It's all part of your membership. So if you haven't already, if you're a member, you can go to vistatrack.investshare.com, and then you'll be able to do all that. Right now, it's just through Blowfin, but we're working on expanding soon to other exchanges based on everyone's vote. So we got HBAR, right? We're looking at HBAR. My bad, man. So here's HBAR. Now, I'm pretty excited about a move for HBAR. Initially it's going to be a little bearish, but HBAR right now is at not a macro value area low, but it's close. I think it's close to 50 days. Where are we at? 38 days, sorry. About 38 days from the start of this range to where we currently are. We have this downtrending momentum that's creating a squeeze. I doubt that we'll make it to the end of the apex point. That's about 16 more days. We'll see what happens, but it's definitely possible. But yeah, I doubt we'll make it to the apex point. Where I'm expecting, hoping is more the better word. I'm hoping that HBAR comes lower because I do want HBAR to be part of the InvestiShare portfolio. I have a pre-alarm set here in case this gets undercut. There's a wick here where we can get that sweep and return back up. So based on the momentum, we can come down to this very high liquidity zone within the next 24 hours or so. Tons and tons of liquidity down here. Out of this entire area, from here to here, ever since this downtrend, this is where a massive majority of the liquidity is. And that's going to act like a big magnet, and that could be used as entry liquidity to reduce a pump. So that's what I'm waiting for, is that initial sweep on HBAR. Grab the low, either the extreme low at, I got it marked here as a white dotted line, the extreme low here at 0.22306. But we also have this level that I'm hopeful for at 0.22550. right? And that's relative to the Binance pricing. So it might be slightly different on the exchange that you're looking at. But yeah, that's what we're looking for, is that sweep, bounce, and then targeting this point of control for not a swing trade, but if that were to break, then it could convert into a swing trade because we can get that full rotation up to its value area high. And based on previous conditioning, we've seen it take about 7 days to get from the value area low to the value area high. Other than this one high volume event where it took about 3 days. We'll see what happens. But I'm excited. This might be our first entry for the InvestiShare portfolio for helping it grow. Now, the way I grow my spot bags is, I wouldn't say it's unique, but it might be new to some of you guys, where I will be, buying at the range lows, selling a portion at value area highs to rebuy with equal funds back down at value area lows again. And then you accumulate more of the asset for free by doing that, and it reduces your average. And I'll be showing you guys what my goals are for Ethereum, Bitcoin, and all that stuff. Aldrena, what if SFP on HBAR? Yeah, there could be a good SFP scenario for sure. Right here, we could even we could SFP off this low here that I got marked. Right, that's the one I would prefer. That'd be pretty sweet. We could SFP here and take this out simultaneously. There's a lot that could occur down here. I'm anticipating volume to go pretty bonkers once we get around this area. What we don't want to have happen is a full body close on the hourly below this level, because it wouldn't make it impossible, but it would dramatically reduce our chances of a turnaround. We have this value area low inside of this high liquidity zone that could allow us to get that return back up too. So we have a couple barriers, but yeah, an SFP would be a cool opportunity if we get that legacy sweep. Let's see what happens. We did just got equal lows here. Stop loss to entry. TP1 hit, closed half, 0.5 move with 30x. Good job, man. What are you trading right now? Or are you talking about your shorts? Oh, Solana SFP. Okay, I see. You're talking about the one that just occurred. That wouldn't take the low, though. You might have taken this one. Oh, you're talking about Solana. What am I looking at HBAR for? So you're talking about this little sweep here. Okay, I got you, man. I don't know. I was kind of brain dead there for a second. So yeah, we got that doji reaction, which means you should be diving into lower time frames during that moment and see what that lack of confirmation is. So we had that. Yeah, we double topped on the 3 minute while getting that. We also got a 3 minute SFP, 15 minute SFP off the high, and the target is technically here. Good job, man. Good job. It was a bit of a brave one, honestly. So we got a 15-minute order block here, VWAP. So if we stay enclosed below this VWAP, especially on the 15-minute time frame, we do have a momentum candle here. So that helps drive the price down as well. So hopefully we come down to the value area low. You might need to undercut the target a little bit. But you're doing great so far. So lots of people. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's go back to Bitcoin, see how it's doing. It's coming down. All right, cool. Let's see if we take out that sell wall. See if the sell wall scared its way out. Or sorry, buy wall. Sometimes they pull their orders if they're retail. Or market maker trying to pull the rug. All right, orders are still there. That's 225. And Solana's positioning is pretty close to Bitcoin's. Got that tweezer reaction. All right. Bingo, you taught me that. Nice, good job, man. All right, where do you guys want to look at next? Let me just zoom back a little bit and see if I'm missing anything. Doesn't look like I'm missing anyone's requests. Remos also brought up Sui, so we can pull up Sui because we didn't talk about that one yet. Okay. This is our change character level. Yeah, so we got that. Oh, God. Let's see. It came up, hit the supply. Slight front run to the value area low. And the downtrend momentum. Then we're coming back down. Looking pretty much like everything else. The Sui's macro. Oh yeah, we got a bunch of these wicks marked at this previous value low in case we get that value area deviation. I'm going to sweep this area and break the momentum, which would be a slight undercut to our trend line here. But let's see how much wiggle room it has. Okay, like none. It's got like no wiggle room. It's like high time frame only. So yeah, we might see an undercut to that momentum. Doesn't always have to be hit. But yeah, for now, I think yeah, Sui's looking bearish locally until we get to these key areas of interest for potential longs. We have these liquidity that's resting down here around that starts at like 337. We have our value area low that starts at 340. So we'll be looking for longs in this area. Since there's so many key areas of interest, are we banking on structure to find our entry like you should with any strategy? Unless you have a mechanical strategy. Yeah, look for longs around here. Brett asked for XRP. Right, okay. XRP is also one I want to accumulate for the portfolio. Okay. Oh yeah, we had that short here. We can delete that. It's not going to help us anymore. We're anticipating the bounce here, but now this is all mitigated, so we can delete this too. Or I can just rotate it for using it over here instead for supply. Okay. But yeah, this looks like it's trying to fish hook like everything else. Got that. Tweets are low. kind of bear flag vibes. I just want to zoom out on XRP really quick, see if we're missing anything. Our all-time high. We can adjust this momentum to here. Mark our low here. So yeah, this bear flag gives us that continuation. Like the measurable base target is suggesting a steep move down to our wick level here. If we don't honor this as support, if we don't get that sweep and pull back, then our value area high here, our previous value area high, will be our next area we want to wait for, like around 259.4. Let's see. And this would sync well with Bitcoin coming down to 112K if we do get that continuation. Let's make this a little more accurate. There we go. Let's go into lower time frames, 15. We got a weak value area here. I wouldn't trust very much of the data, but the volume data could help you out. Yeah, nothing just yet. If we break this low here, unless we get like a lot of liquidity built up, let's say we consolidate and just keep on adding more liquidity below us. You could wait for like a potential short in this area for a continuation. If you get that opposing change of character here, you come up, we potentially get that fish hook pattern, and then yeah, wait for the potential short. And then target these lows first. If we break this low, then we have a continuation down to like 275. And by then, yeah, we could probably sweep the 272 level. So if marking, we can mark this level here for one key level. You can also SFP off that. Then we have this pathing potential here. But yeah, overall, I'm still kind of bearish on XRP as well. Bitcoin low time frame 786, but I think we can retest the VWAP and we'll go down. Oh, you're talking about the internal pull from here to here. From here to here, 786 bounce. Yeah, just like you said, kind of getting a doji response against the VWAP. We get a lower time frame view. We could see that we also have like a super low time frame supply concern along with the confluence of the VWAP. So yeah, we're likely going to hit our head. We might get a pullback under the mitigation and see if we get a continuation, but yeah, overall, we should think that this is likely going to continue to go down. Be nice for so. Yeah. Well, guys, I think I might have time for one more, and then I got to go to the next call. So Constantine's got a request for ENA. So we can look at ENA. on Binance. ENA is pretty much leading the race to what we just spoke about, where they're kind of building that bear flag, like fixed hook structure, and it's already kind of confirmed all of that. So that's relative weakness. It looks like the last time we kind of did some TA, we were anticipating a rejection at this value area high and then come down. Went down beyond where I would probably recommend where find support. We tried to find support off of this uptrending momentum, but we failed to get that neckline break, and we instead, kept bear flagging our way down and then lagged. Like these are all fish hook structures here. We have this most recent bear flag that broke. We already hit the conservative target. I believe we probably already hit the non-conservative target because of the posture. Yeah, we're really close. And now we're tapping into the previous value area high and hourly order block. We're at an area right now we want to prepare for potential longs. You really don't want ENA, especially for a holder, to have acceptance into this value area, because we would likely get that. We have a very balanced volume profile here, so we'll likely come down to the POC if we got acceptance into here. We could fall all the way down to the value area low where the 50-day EMA is. This is our last little long setup. We can delete that. So what holders do not want to see is acceptance through a brick structure within it. Watch the POC, probably get a bounce, and then likely get the bounce off of here. If we don't get it now, we'll likely get it here. Just mark now that we're so close to this level, it would be a good idea to mark your key levels. Make your previous value low. Previous point control. Any liquidity levels that you want to mark. We could get a little sweep here, but I wouldn't take it anyways internally inside the value, near the value high like that. Unless you're like in and out really quick. So we do have like an hourly order block there, so we could get that like little bounce and sweep up. Only to hit our head off the value area high. And change the opacity on this. So yeah, man, there's two potential scenarios here. Now this one would give you a much better long opportunity if we got all the way down here. If you're patient for waiting for something like that. Otherwise, we have this as our key level right now. That would give us the confluence of the loss of momentum and the hourly change of character. And we could likely come up to this high here. So I would, if I were to do pathing, like this. And it'd be a bit of a hurdle to try to get past that, but at least you can get in here and find out what might occur here with a potential opposing change of character or continuation structure. But yeah, guys, I gotta go. The trade hunting call with the community just started. I appreciate everyone who came here to watch. I love answering questions on doing TA with you guys. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot better than doing it alone, you know what I mean? So yeah, just reach out to me if you have any questions about any of the assets that we went over together. And hope you guys have an amazing day. And I'll see you tomorrow on the next one. Good morning, HRJ. How you doing, man? See you guys.